Brad Burton is the UK's #1 motivational speaker, renowned for his no-nonsense, straight-talking approach that inspires audiences to take action and transform their lives. As the founder of the UK's largest business network, For Networking, Brad has built a career on empowering individuals to achieve success through resilience, grit, and authenticity. A best-selling author of 4 business and personal development books, Brad's story is one of remarkable perseverance. From being £25,000 in debt and delivering pizzas to make ends meet to running a multi-million-pound business, his journey resonates with anyone striving for more. Brad is also a passionate advocate for mental health, openly sharing his own experiences of overcoming challenges such as depression and anxiety. Through his talks, he breaks down stigmas, offering hope and practical advice for anyone struggling with their mental health. Brad's raw and relatable style strips away corporate jargon, replacing it with practical wisdom and life lessons that connect deeply with audiences. Whether you're looking to reignite your motivation, embrace change, or simply get unstuck, Brad's insights are guaranteed to leave you inspired and ready to take action. Tune in for an electrifying conversation with Brad. Proof that success isn't about where you start, it's about how you handle the journey.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. My name is Brad Burton, and you are joining me today on the Football Mental Health Alliance. There you go, it's easy for me to say. You are joining me on the Football Mental Health Alliance. Right, start again. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Brad Burton. I am a motivational speaker, and I'm going to motivate you. I'm going to fire you up. But before we get to all that, I just want to say thank you so much for the Football Mental Health Alliance for giving me this opportunity to share my story with yours, because my story is your story. I wouldn't be much of a motivational speaker if I didn't have a sob story, and I'm going to share my sob story. But it's not a sob story, it's a story of success, it's a story of tenacity, it's a story of resilience. My story is your story. The difference is I'm daft enough to share it. So I am Brad Burton, I'm a motivational speaker. But before we get to all that, I want you to rewind to a time in your life, in your world, in your career, in your business, in your relationships, when if you would have made a different decision, life would have been fundamentally different. Relationship, conversation, a decision. You can't rewind. You can't rewind. And too often in life, what we end up doing is trying to go back to a time and a place that no longer exists. So I am a motivational speaker. And just to put your mind at ease, by the way, I am from Salford, Manchester. I do have a shaved head, do have tattoos, but don't worry, I'm not a drug dealer anymore. But we can all change. And that's what today's about. It's about change. But in order for us to change in life, we had to take a chance. We have to take a chance. And every single one of us in our life has taken a chance. Sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't. But look, as a motivational speaker, I've got a question for you, actually. How many motivational speakers does it take to change a light bulb? One. But a light bulb is going to want to change. And that's the question I'm going to ask you right now. Do you really want to change? And if you did want to change, what would those things be in your life, in your world, in your business, in your health, in your relationship? I have no idea. What would those things be that you'd like to change? But what we end up doing in life is we say, oh, but I can't change. I can't change. Yes, you can. The difference, as you can see, between can and can is nominal. And that applies to you. And over the course of the next 44 minutes or so, I'm going to help you make the changes to your life, to your world. And I promise you right now, you are going to make a positively life-changing decision. I'm going to help you make that positively life-changing decision. And I'm going to help you change everything in 44 minutes. And it's a bold claim, but one that I back up every single time. How do we eat a pizza? Slice by slice. I want you to grab a piece of paper and a pen, and I want you to draw a circle. And then what I want you to do is I want you to cut it up into slices. So see if you can do it, by the way. Sometimes when I start doing it, I start getting 8 slices and it's all messed up. And yeah, you get the point, right? Just see if you can do it for a bit of fun. And it's funny because some people do it straight away and some people can. I don't understand this. It's quite a tricky one, but I won't spoil that for you. And then what I want you to do is I want you to write down on each slice a challenge or a problem that you're dealing with right now. And we're going to work out how to break it down. Look, this is a illustrated picture I'm going to come back to the picture there. This is an illustrated picture that I asked the guy, my creative designer, to create going back, I don't know, probably 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And it probably cost me about 240 quid for him to produce this. Two reasons I'm telling you that. We'll get to the other one in a second. But I just want you to think about this piece of this image. That's me on the left there. And I want you to imagine right now that you're on the left and you've got this gulf. And everything that you want to achieve, everywhere you want to get to, is on the other side. And I want you to have a think right now, what is on the other side? Just think about where and what you want to achieve in your life. It's on the other side of this. And the question is this: how do you bridge that gap? How do you bridge that gap between where you are and where you want to get to? And over the course of the next 43 minutes, I'm going to help you do just that. You know, I mentioned that a friend of mine designed this 2-3 years ago, and then all of a sudden, ChatGPT comes along and puts it through that, and within 3 seconds, boom, that's what it come up with. It's not perfect, but it's better. And that is exactly what today's about. I don't want you to be perfect. I can't help you be perfect, but what I can do is I can help you be better. This morning, I was on the phone over to the legal department, and I said to them, you know what, can we use the genie? And they said yes. I rubbed the lamp and boom, the genie comes out. Now imagine right now that you've got 3 wishes. You have 3 wishes. I want you to think about what those 3 wishes would be. Maybe you want to lose weight. Maybe you want to make lots of money. Maybe you want to get a bigger house. Just have a think about what your 3 wishes were. Just have a think. I'll just leave you for 5 seconds to think about what those wishes would be. Or maybe you want to write them down. There's no such thing as genies. You're not 8. It would be lovely if there was a genie and all these things that you thought about then would just rub away. And yeah, life doesn't work like that, people. But what I want you to understand is this: what are the 3 changes that you can make? What are the 3 changes that you can make to make those wishes a reality? That's it. So my name is Brad Burton. I am a motivational speaker. I get to travel the world as a motivational speaker. But it's not always been this way. I'm going to get to that. You know, where you want to get to in your life, in your business, in your world, in your relationships is beyond self-limiting beliefs. And every single one of us, if you imagine this being your life, right? I'm 52-year-old. You imagine it being your life, and each of these steps is a year of your life. Or maybe it's a day in a month, right? These piano keys of your life, everything's great, everything's great, everything's great. And then boom, something happens that's not great. And then you've got to get over this step. In my case, whether it was being shot at 21-year-old, or maybe when I was brought up as a single parent, my mum brought me up and we moved 14 times from the age to 8 to 14, or when I left school with no qualifications, or I got addicted to drugs twice. You got to work really hard to get addicted twice. Or maybe it was when I did 4 years on benefits. Or maybe it was when I delivered pizza when I was a 31-year-old man. But whatever these things are, these steps, everything that you want to achieve is over these steps. And some people in life can never get over a step and they stay stuck. So I want you to think about these steps in your life, the ones that you've got over and the ones that you've not got over, because it's all about belief. It's about belief. It's about belief. It's about belief. If you don't 100% believe that you can get over these things, you're always going to stay stuck. But when it comes to self-limiting beliefs, every single person has self-limiting beliefs. Every single person has self-limiting beliefs. You know what? I know dragons from Dragon's Den. I know world-class boxers. I know #1 selling pop stars. Sorry, King Charles told me not to name drop. The jokes don't get any funnier. But the point I'm making is that if you speak to them in private, they will tell you that they've got self-limiting beliefs. You would never know it because they don't show it to the world. But every single individual that I've ever met, and you talk to them in private, has self-limiting beliefs. So I want you to understand that you as a human being, where you end up is a direct result of your decisions, right? Your decisions. So if you think about your life, you know, I would love to go, blame my dad locking me in a coal shed when I was 8 as to the reason that I can't succeed. 43 years on or whatever it is, right? Manchester Mass 44, right? But you see what I'm saying? It's nothing to do with that. It was due to me being lazy or me to have self-limiting beliefs or believe that actually it's all right for them. And whilst every time that I spent my life as a Salford kid, right, saying it's all right for them, it's all right for them, innit? I stopped my opportunity. So I want you to understand that you as an individual, I want you to imagine that your brain's like a hard drive. And your brain is like a hard drive. Everything that people have said to you, everything that you've witnessed, everything that you've heard, everything that you've seen, it's like a hard drive, like a little processor with all the programs of your life. You can have two brothers that live in the same household that think completely different. So it's down to this. Now, if you think about these Terminator robots, what are they programmed for? To find Sarah O'Connor, to capture or kill Sarah O'Connor. Imagine that they was programmed to tend to the flower beds around Leeds. Everywhere you go with that National Trust, but they're not. They're programmed to get Sarah O'Connor. That's their mission. What's your mission? What's your mission? Are you programmed to bitch and whine, feel sorry for yourself, programmed to keep going on about the past, because it's all right for them? What are you programmed to? So I'm going to help you right now change your programming. So you imagine that your brain's a hard drive. It is. I just want you to wipe everything. Let's imagine that you go Control-Alt-Delete. Are you sure to wipe? Yeah, you're going to wipe your brain. What programs of your life would you load on? Would you load up? I drink too much. Do you see what I'm saying? Well, you wouldn't load that back up. You wouldn't optionally load that back up. So what would you do? What would you load up? And this is what I want you to understand. So imagine, there's a figure there, 8%. I reckon, I've been in business now 20 years. I'm going to get to that. I've been in business 20 years. And I reckon in that time, I've sussed something out. Only 8% of people, 8%, do what they say they're going to do. 8%. That means that 92% of people don't do what they say they're going to do. So if you want to get ahead in life, in business, in your world, say what you're going to do and do what you're going to say. That's it. So simple. But if you can't even be honest with yourself about any agreement that you make, how are you going to make any agreement with other people? Because it's about trust. Before I get to trust, I want you to wipe your brain, start again. And I'm going to load up right now, positive mindset, correct decisions, clear direction, and high confidence. Do you reckon that Brad Burton, would have written 4 books? All right. I started a business off £25,000 in debt, no income. I created it to a multi-million-pound business. I'm just a working class lad from Salford. Proper, right? No qualifications. Dad left when I was 6-month-old. Got shot out at 21. 4 years on benefits. Addicted to drugs twice. 31. I was delivering pizzas. And I started a business. I walked out of a job, £25,000 in debt. Nobody gave me a chance. Nobody apart from me. My wife, still my wife, didn't want me to do it. She told me to go and get a proper job. At least you know where you stand. You know exactly where you stand when you run your own business. Get used to it. But you ain't going to starve to death. I'm yet to find someone who started their own business who has starved to death. So, when you drive a car, and you go to an appointment or whatever, you put in your sat nav, your postcode, and it says you've arrived at your destination. You would not dream, if you needed to come and see me over in Somerset. I've moved away from Salford now. I got bored getting shot at, right? But if you wanted to come and meet me in Somerset, would you know how to get to Somerset? And then when you got to Somerset, would you know how to find me? The reason I say this is this: you would not get in a car without putting in your postcode about where you're going. But you as an individual, where's your GPS for your life, for your world? Where are you going? Because I'll tell you something right now. It's a long way to go when you don't know where you're going. You don't know where you're going when you're lost. What you need is some direction. And this fundamentally is at its core. You get in your car every single day and you drive. But your life, you wake up and you're not really sure where you're going. And then we get upset when we're in the wrong place. Whose fault is that? You are driving your own life. You. So people say, well, it's all right for you, Brad. You got lucky. Look at you, Brad, speaking at all these events. You got lucky. You've written your 4 books, got your multi-million-pound business. You got lucky. 4 Networking, national network, the UK's largest business network. Oh, yeah, proper. Before the pandemic. Because let me tell you something, people, I'd worked my bollocks off for 14 years to build a business from nothing, right? And to create a business which created a life for me. And I remember when I was delivering pizzas at 31-year-old, 51 now, right? 31. And I said to my boy, baby Ben, I'm going to take you to Disney World. And everyone thought I was tapped, right? Kid, no qualifications, 4 years on benefit, shot, you get the point, right? I started, I delivered pizza. And the reason I say, oh, deliver pizzas isn't to go dramatic. I'm saying in order for you to get to where you want to get to in your life, you're going to have to do shit you don't want to do. Sorry. Or don't. So I said to baby Ben, I'm going to take him on a once-in-a-lifetime holiday. Guess how many times I've done that? 13 times. Right? And every single time it's got tough, and it has got tough, I look back to my kids' tattoos to give me strength. I look at the lions to give me strength. This is what I do. I'm going to get into all this for you to understand, because you'll have your own children. You'll have your own tattoos. You'll have your own lion. You'll have your own things that get you fired up and focused and go, you know what? Fucking right, I can do this. So people say I got lucky. That isn't luck. That's tenacity. That's persistence. That's belief. So my business, I was doing really well. It's like £2.5 million quid, kid from council estate, and then Boris Johnson says on March the 20th, March the 22nd, 2020, please stay at home. My national network, 500 brewers fairs up and down the land every single month, gone. Membership organisation, thousands of members, gone. And I'm going to get to this for you to understand. Come on, Boris, come on, Rishi, you need to sort this out. They didn't know what he was doing either, right? Nobody did. They was making it up like you are. We're all making it up. And once you realise that everyone's blagging it, life becomes a whole lot easier. But you know, I look at this whole thing, and mountaineers don't stay on the top of mountains. They don't. There's my books, by the way. Thick fucker from Salford. No qualifications. Oh, did you get a ghostwriter? No, I wrote them all myself. And I remember when I was on benefits and I first moved down from Salford, when I first moved down from Salford down to Somerset, and I was skint, living in a bedsit, didn't have any money at all, on benefits, and my electric fire had 3 bars or whatever, and yet only one of them worked in the house that I rented or room or whatever. So I could never heat my room up when it was winter. So what happened is I would go to the library and I would sit in there and I'd read books, New Scientist, Management Today, Hotel Management. I didn't even know what I was doing. Reading the Times, right? All that to keep warm. And I got myself an education. Me. And this is the point I made, that people say, well, Brad, who made you the expert? I did. I made me the expert. Me. In the same way that you can. But Brad Burton's got no qualifications. You're right. I've got 0 qualifications, but guess what? If you can do the job, you're qualified. Stop waiting for permission from anyone to tell you what you need to start doing in your life and your world. If you want to become a motivational speaker, become a motivational speaker. If you want to go and start a business, start a business. Do it. Whatever it is, I want you to do it and start saying yes. The reason I'm talking to you right now online is because 2009 in GMX over in Manchester, Manchester Central, the world's moved on. I was at an event with my business, and one of the speakers, the last speaker, dropped out. 2 hours before it, the organizer said to me, Scott Hyder, hey Brad, you look like you can do a bit. Do you fancy stepping in? I said yes. Within 2 hours, I'd got all this together and I'd presented. Now, let me be clear. I was shaking like a leaf, hands shaking, my leg going like a shitting dog. Right? I was like Elvis. I couldn't even look at anyone in the eye. It's like Stevie Wonder. Right? Happy birthday to you. But I pushed myself through. And that's what I want you to start doing. You know, before this, when I was on benefits, I remember the people at the Dole office said to me, oh, you should start your own business. Me, I don't know anything about that. Twice they signposted, this is what you should do. And I went twice, I went no. And every single day you walk past the signpost, every single day you walk past the signpost, this is what you need to do. You need to make change. And every time you just walk past it, oh, it's not for me. And this is what I want you to do. I want you to start looking right now and working out where your thing is, where your whole thing is about, that these signposts are for you. I was just looking for my phone. Oh, here it is. And the reason I'm doing that is this. I have a phone here. phone. It's got a battery pack on it, right? But if I didn't have my battery pack, we can charge it up. I'll look at my phone, and my phone is on 54%, right? 54%, and it's got a picture of a lion again. I think this is this is what I'm trying to say to you, and I'm going to explain why I'm doing that. And it's not, I'm genuinely wasn't showing you the lion, but I just clocked it, right? So I'm on 54%, 54%. The reason I say that is this: once your phone starts getting to a certain point, and you're going to clock this, and you like, is it like 10% when you start getting twitchy, or is it 30 or whatever, right? I've got a battery pack that enables me to put another 150% on my phone. Energy is important. So at some point, you're going to get a low battery, I don't know, 10%, and then you start, oh, where's my lead? Have you got a lead? Have you got a battery pack? Oh, the plug, you're at a restaurant, and so forth. Energy is so important. Oh, I'm all right. I don't worry about it. I've got 20%. Then I start looking at it, and then you've got 20%. Now all of a sudden, you're in work. You got 20%. You've not brought your charge because you don't need it. You know, I always get home. We've got 10%, and then what happens? Phone goes. Hello. What? My 8-year-old fell out of an apple tree. Oh my God! I'll meet you at the hospital. So now I'm on the way to the hospital. You're on 20%, and now you're ringing everyone to let them know that you can't leave. Boom. And now your energy's, and now you're double paranoid because the energy's on you, and you've got no battery pack, and now you can't keep in contact. Energy is so important. Energy is so important. I'm going to share with you something just so you can understand right now. So my phone's at 54%. Imagine, look at your phone and just clock your phone. And then I want you to say to yourself right now, imagine that you had an LED on your brain, on your head right now, and I could see what battery you're on right now. We just talked about what happens. I go and get a plug, or I go and plug in a battery pack. But what about you? What about you when your energy is low? Because energy is so important. Energy is so important. And you're going to get warnings you're tired. You're going to get warnings that you're low energy. And you keep grinding. Keep doing 14-hour days. Keep hammering it. You don't, look after yourself. You don't drink water. You come back from work. You're tired. So what do you do? All you got to do is you don't go to the gym. You drink some beer or watch telly. Whatever. You get the point, right? I'm no angel. You're under no illusion, fellas. I'm no angel. However, I'm better. And that's what this is about. And I'm going to explain the importance of energy. I'm a what you call a computer gamer. I was going to say I'm a fighter. I'm not a fighter. I couldn't take the skin off a rice pudding. Just looked like I could, right? But I love computer games. So I'm going to be Ryu, and you're going to be Ken. And I'm full of confidence. I've got 100% energy. Yeah, come on, boom. Right, let's go. I've got all these strategies. And then what happens is Ken gives me a whack, then he gives me another kick, then he gives me a kick, then he gives me a hurricane kick, and boom, I'm now down to 10% energy. 10% energy. Do you reckon that I'd be fighting as confidently as I would with 100% energy? Of course not. Energy is important. And whatever you want to achieve in your life, in your world, in your business, in your career, relies on energy. And if you've got low energy, guess what? People under stress, people with low energy don't make great decisions. And where you end up in your life is a result of your decisions. So you're on this perfect storm of just bullshit, of low energy, rubbish decisions, and then you end up in a cycle. You start, boom, 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 boom. Let me tell you, I've got type 2 diabetes. Me, type 2 diabetes. Because I was 4 stone heavier. And I don't know if I've got the picture on here, unfortunately. I've not got it on here. But I could show you me 4 stone heavier. Everything that could go wrong in my life and world did. And I recognised the importance of energy. I was low energy. So therefore, what I was doing, Red Bull, sugars, kind of full sugar Red Bull. Up to 5 or 6 a day. Then I'd go at night time, start taking Night-On to go to sleep. Cycle. Then I wake up all groggy. Then my eyes were all black underneath. So now I'm having to buy this cream, whatever it was, to cover the black up. And now I'm getting fatter. My blood sugar's all over the show. Then I'm breathing in to wear a t-shirt. You get the point. So this thing was in a cycle. And that's what I'm trying to say. It's all connected. Your health, your welfare, everything. So I'll give you an example of this energy thing again. Right? So if you imagine that you're on 54% energy, like your battery, like my phone, and all of a sudden you start having a ding dong with your missus, starts giving you a hard time. Like mine was, we was arguing over something, I can't remember it was, who emptied the fridge or who left or whatever in the fridge, whatever. Driving along, arguing. Let's say I'm on 54% energy, and we're arguing about nothing. Oh, you should empty the fucking fridge, you empty the fridge. Now it's like one piece of energy, so I'm now at 53. And it just kept going and going and going. And then I did something that all the married men in there will clock it, what you're supposed to do. agree to disagree. It wasn't going anywhere, and I could have kept arguing about who was right, but you're arguing over something from yesterday. Who gives a shit? So what? I'm right. Well, that's sorted. That's perfect. Do you see? You're arguing. You're gaining no ground. You're fighting over nothing. You're fighting over occupying somebody's brain. When you're having a kick it up, you go, "What are you doing?" Well, you said that. All right, you said it. So why are we arguing? So, there's bad use of energy, arguing, whatever. Facebook ding dongs. You'd argue in the toss, or start arguing about Brexit or Trump or whatever, or anti-vax or COVID or whatever. Spending hours to people that are never going to change. Let me ask you something. Have you ever had an argument on Facebook or social media? Let me ask you another question. Have you ever won an argument? Well done. You've won an argument with a stranger on social media, wasting what is so precious in your lifetime. I'm going to get to that later. But look, you'll have some stuff like going to the gym, that's good use of your time. Walking the dog, good use of your time. Playing with your kids, good use of your time. Arguing the toss over Brexit, not a good use of your time. Do you see what I'm saying? And do you reckon you're going to get to the end of your life and your dying breath and go, "I'm so glad I had a fucking argument about Brexit on social media"? Of course you're not. You're going to wish that you'd have spent more time with your kids and not fucked about on bullshit that doesn't matter. You can beat that. So the point I'm making is you'll have stuff right now that you're not dealing with. And then your energy starts being eroded. And then you might have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of these things. And every day, 5 points of your energy is being dinged. It just starts going boom. So I would suggest that what you do is you look at these things and actually start moving on it today. Might take you a bit longer, but move it on today. And ask yourself this question: does it move the needle? Does what I'm doing move the needle? I'm going to ask you another question. Is your life perfect? I speak in front of thousands of people. I ask this question: is your life perfect? Is your job perfect? And occasionally you get some nutcase who goes, "Yeah, great, yeah," and you go, "All right, right? Is your life perfect? Is your job perfect?" If you go, you probably said no. If you go on social media, all you'll see is perfect lives and perfect businesses. People don't look like that. Put through a filter, by the way, Hollywood filter, right? Do you see what I'm saying? So you're looking at these filtered versions of life and business and I'm thinking, why doesn't my life look like that? Because they don't. That took me 3 seconds to do on an app. 3 seconds. I even put the begin, whatever it is, the nail polish on there. Bonkers. There's a wire. You can see at the back, right? There's a wire. Hey, wire. Come. Photoshop's out. Do you know what I mean? And this is what I'm trying to say. The real world isn't this. And we've been blagged to think that it is. And then you're doing all this, you're tired. Everything's going on, you're tired. You've got all these things going and you're low energy. And then you get twinned with this. You're on there. And it's even worse because you're sat there watching wars going on television. Things getting bombed. Sat there, 24 rolling moves, so terrible what's going on. And then you're arguing on social media, and then you're overeating, and you're drinking, and your mental health's getting eroded. And then we wonder why we all get fucked up. You are what you eat. You are what you see. You are what you read. You are what you hear. I've stopped watching the news, not watched it for 3 years now. Occasionally on X, you see it. Don't click in. Don't click in. I would rather be uninformed and happy than informed and miserable. Well, you don't care about the people. Yes, I do. I can't do nothing about it. And I think that this is what we need to do. We need to stop comparing other people's lives with our lives, other people's show reels with our lives. And what you need to recognize is the reason that racehorses wear blinkers, they don't give a toss about the competition. And that's what I need you to do. I need you to stop looking at them, looking at them, looking at them, looking at them, look at their car, look at their, they've got abs. Stop it. I need you to run your own race. There's 2 versions of me. There's a good version and there's a not so good version. You would have no idea about my background unless I was daft enough to share it. I can't go into various bits and bobs about my background for obvious reasons. But what I will say is I've changed. And you can change. I am a bum from Salford. No qualifications, 4 years, you get the point. So what changed? I did. I travel the world right now, motivating Costa, JCB, Bentley, me. Born from Salford, no qualifications, 4 years on benefits, addicted to drugs, wife, liver pick. You get the point? So this better version of your life relies on the better version of you, and it's your ability to make decisions that is going to dictate where you end up. Right now, you might have had a bad hand. Oh, I've had a bad hand over everything that went on. Well, let me tell you something. So did I. But within that bad hand, there's an ace, and you've been playing your aces as ones. And what you need to do is play them as 11s. I'm a Salford street kid. Papa, you're that kid? Yeah, nice one. How on earth have I managed to do what I've done? Through not playing it as I'm a Salford street kid. I've leaned into that whole thing and I share my story about myself, whatever. So rather than it being terrible, oh, I don't want people to know about that, I've shared it. No one's got anything on me. Nothing. It's on the public domain. But it's about being the best you. Being the best you. There's two versions of me. Good version, not so good version. 4 stone heavier. Angry. Angry with everything I got when I got shot at. I'm going to explain about how I got shot at in January 2nd, 1995. 2 bullets went through my window over in Manchester. My home was 21 years. I had to leave overnight. Gone. Couldn't let anyone know. Imagine that right now. I don't care what your problems are. Oh, I've got all these problems. I've got a council tax going on. If you give me an earache, yeah, great. Try 2 bullets through your window. See where's your problem now? Oh, it's terrible, my council tax and all that. Okay, 2 bullets through your window. What, is it still a 10 out of 10 in your problems? Or is it now been moved? And that's what anything that you've ever encountered and everything that you've ever dealt with, your ability to deal with stuff, the greater that stuff you've overcome or you dealt with in your life and got through it. You're watching this, you got through it. The more resilience that you need to do. So if you think about this, I'm into computer games, and if you think about a computer game, you've got a level 1 wizard. A level 1 wizard, how does a level 1 wizard become a level 20 wizard? So a level 1 wizard's got 2 magic missiles and needs to sleep then because all the magic gone. Right? Level 20 wizard, fireballs, summon dragons, What's the difference in level 1 and level 20? The battles that they've encountered. But not only have the battles, but what they've ended up doing is they've got the experience from those battles. And there will be things that you've had and you've dealt with in your life, and what you did was just enough to get away from them. And I would like you to trust me, this kid who you don't know, but I'm, best intent I've got for you to revisit those battles and go back and actually take what's rightfully yours from those battles. Experience, resilience, persistence. Because that's the difference. Everything that was so terrible in my life, I flipped it. So I want you to, I did have a swear word in there, I edited out just before I come on there. I want you to stop whining. When you find yourself whining about stuff, stop whining and start winning. There's a fundamental difference. When you start talking to yourself and whining, oh, my job shit, it's all right, stop. Stop whining and ask yourself a question. What can I do to fix this? And it's that simple. It is down to your decisions. Not the fact that you got locked in a coal shed when you was 8 by your dad, right? Let go of whatever that is. I'm going to get to that now. But in order for you to be who you want to be, you're going to have to let go of who you once were. You are going to have to let go of who you once were. And that's tough. I would love to say, as a motivational speaker, I'm looking for a pair of dramatic scissors. I don't have one. But what I do have is I do have this, which is a gun. Unfortunately, it's a BB one, so I don't want armed police coming through my thingies here, right? Genuinely a BB one. And the reason I say that is this. The changes that you need to make in your life, the changes that you need to make in your life that you can't. If I put a gun to your head and said, make those fucking changes or you won't see tomorrow, do you reckon that you'd struggle to make those changes? No, you wouldn't. Manchester motivation, by the way, bit strong. But nonetheless, you would make change. So I want you to put a metaphorical gun to your head and go, right, how do I fix this? How do I fix this? How do I make this better? And you make it better by saying, right, I can do this. I can make these changes that I need to make my life, to make my world, to make my thing better. You can do this. As a motivational speaker, I can't make the cut for you. I can advise you, but only you can. But when you do that, you've got to let go of who you once were. My friends over in Salford, Manchester, I go and see them right now. It's lovely to see them, a cup of tea, blah, 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 but don't associate with that. So, do you see what I'm saying? If I still associated with that, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. So I had to make a decision. Doesn't mean I don't love them, doesn't mean I've not got love for them, but it means that I've got to move on. And you might have to let go of people in order for you to become the best version of you. And never meet your own brilliance because it's too loud for someone else. You're going to get it. People telling you got it wrong. And when I go on Facebook, I like my own posts, right? I like my own posts. People, I don't like. Why don't you like your own posts? Like your own posts, right? Make this a declaration. If you want to make change, I want you to go on Facebook and on this, right? I want you to like this post, and then I want you to like your own comment. That's what you do. I want you to write a comment to me, and I will read it. I promise you, will, right? Write your own comment, and you like your own post. But you're going to get critics. You're going to get critics. People telling you got it wrong. Oh, he wears t-shirts at meetings. He swears too much. He's not professional. He has no qualification. He uses too much teeth whitener. Might be true. He goes on sunbeds. Guilty as charged. He breathes in to present. Now that is just rude. I don't breathe in to present. Of course I do. 51-year-old. I've realised something, that I would rather have pizza than abs. So look, the reality is, he looks. Now that is wrong. He looks like a drug. Do you think I look like a drug dealer? No, that is my old street in Salford. That's my old house there. We actually did AI all the cars and all the rubbish from the back there. But that was my car. That was my car before the pandemic. And I say this, that I went back to my old house as a kid. And do you know, I look at it and I think to myself, it's like I'm living a life that I could never dream possible. As a kid from a council estate, no qualifications, 4 years, you get a point. Do you see? Right? So what changed? I did, in the same way that you can change. And I'm being really honest with you right now. I'm being really honest with you. I did say that I was going to get a joint in this presentation. I was told I wouldn't by the organisers. Sorry, Danny. Oh, look, a squirrel. Look, I'm going to be honest with you, right? You walk down a corridor, and on the left is a room full of negative people, on the right is a room full of positive people. Which room would you go in? Would you go in the negative one, or would you go in the positive one? And every time I speak and do like sessions, everyone go, I'd go in the positive one. Well, why the fuck are there rooms full of negative people up and down the land? Did they even realise they're negative? And are they negative, or are they just watching the news? Are they just tired and low energy, and they don't realise that they're negative? People, this is your life. Trust me on this one. What you need to do is recognise this. This is the way to remember this. Negative should be left. Positive is always right. You need to act right. And what I want you to do is I want you to, when you watch this video today, tomorrow, I want you to be the best version of you. When you go for an interview and you're like in your best behaviour, lovely to meet you, Mr. Natharius. Or you go on a first date, lovely, let me put your chair up. And then 6 months later, you're farting in front of them and your fucking job to be nothing. I want you to stop all that. And I want you to be that best version of you. Now, when it comes to success in life, and I mentioned this, that where you end up is a direct result of your decisions. And the reason we don't make decisions is we're scared they're the wrong ones. But let me tell you something. An expert is someone that has made all the mistakes in a particular niche field. If you want to be considered an expert in anything, you've got to make mistakes. And the only way you're going to make mistakes is decisions. Now, this is something that Bentley Global use. And there's a reason that Bentley Global use it is it's like a management principle. Is because I taught it them. Me, Brad Burton, former drug addict. Brad Burton, you get the point. So when it comes to making decisions, I'm the easiest person in the world to sell to. I had the Football Mental Health Alliance contact me and say, "Hey, Brad, yeah, 100%. 100%. If I can get this message out to you, you can understand that, look, just a bum from Salford, that somewhere along the way changed my life by changing my thinking. You can do the same. But it starts with decisions. When it comes to making decisions, I'm the easiest person in the world to sell to. I will make a decision in 24 seconds. If I can't make a decision in 24 seconds, I revisit in 24 minutes. If after 24 minutes I can't make a decision, guess what? I revisit in 24 hours. If after 24 hours I can't make a decision, I've just made a decision. It's not important. Next. And when it comes to decisions, I will evaluate in this way. Decision that I've got to make. Okay, 24. What's the best case? What's the worst case? What's the most likely case? Can I live with the worst case scenario? No. In which case, don't do it. This is the fast way, because there's no correlation between time spent. Because what happens is we end up trying to work decisions out, and you've got that decision that you've not dealt with, and that decision, and then you get in this circle of thought, and your mental horsepower gets eroded. So the other thing is to understand this: whether it's what do you need to do to change your life in the next minute, the next hour, the next day, or maybe it's the next week, the next month, the next year. You see what I'm saying? So 111, so 24, 24, 24, 24 seconds, 24 minutes, 24 hours, and then 111. Just always be running this script as a computer. Run it. What do I need to do in the next minute, the next hour, the next day to be a better version of me? And that's what I want you to do. You know what? You need to fly your flag. You need to fly your flag. You need to fly your flag. No one is going to do your press-ups for you. As much as it would be for me to go, oh yeah, the motivation speaker, I'm going to do. I ain't doing your stuff. I've got my own stuff to deal with. And you can't save the world. I know. I tried, and I burnt myself out. And I've had 2, maybe 3 burnouts, 2 nervous breakdowns. I didn't even realize the first one was a nervous breakdown. When I go back to when I got shot at, I had no idea what was going on. And then back in 2011, everything that could go wrong in my life did. That's the reality of it. And low energy, 4 stone heavier, marriage, legal problems, business problems, and then a nervous breakdown. And the difference between a nervous breakdown, and they had one when 2012, that was it. The difference between a burnout and a nervous breakdown: a burnout is a 2-week warning. It's a 2-week warning. And I was giving an indication when I'm burning out, I get a little twitch. That starts going. I go, oh no, we're there. Or my ears start like popping, or you feel them like as if like you're swimming. These are indications that you are pushing it too hard. Difference in a burnout and a nervous breakdown: burnout's 2 weeks, nervous breakdown 2 years. And I'll give you an example of this nervous breakdown. My wife, when I was going through it, she said, do you want a cup of tea or coffee? That was me. 2020, that was. 2020. Me. The motivational speaker, the 4-time best-selling author, me. Shot to pieces. This dictates this. This messed up, life messed up, relationships messed up, business messed up, health messed up. This. Fuck about all you want with your stupid cars. Spending time knobbing about getting decent cars and all that. This. If you don't look after this, everything else is folly. Trust me on that one. So you need to fly your own flag, and you need to recognize this is what your life's like. You've got all these things going on right now. You've got to go kids, you've got to business, you've got to do that, you've got to go football, you've got to you've got to take the lad there, you've got to go swimming, you've got to go to the gym, you've got to go food shopping, you've got to get money, all these things there. And what I want you to do is I want you to work out what the most important thing is. That. Get this sorted. Get this sorted. You will get that sorted. We've been coming at it from the wrong perspective. But I'll say this, I have tattoos, as you can see. Lion, eagle, lion. You get the point? All you're seeing is these images, right? I use these to give me strength and courage, to remind me of strength and courage, to find that. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to find something, whether it's pictures of your kids on your phone or whatever, reminder of that greatness or the best version of you. And I say this about these tattoos. When I got them done, this is based on the old Battle of the Planets. I'm showing my age now. 1970s, 1980s cartoon, and it was like this phoenix, this spaceship that turned into a phoenix. So I got a lion and I got an eagle. And what happened is when I went to get these done, 2012, when it was, or 2011, when I was shot to bits mentally, right? Shot to pieces, because I wanted to create a shield to somehow, I'd run out of lifelines, to somehow protect me from what was coming my way. I didn't know how to deal with it. So it goes there, and I go to the tattooist, been recommended, and guess what I do? Gets a load of painkillers, right? painkillers. And I next a load of painkillers because I know I'm going to be there for 4 or 5 hours to do this. And I'm off my box on painkillers. And there's a lesson in this. And the woman who's the tattoo said to me, "Oh, I think they'd look better longer. You know, this is design. I think they look better longer." So guess what I does? "Oh, up it up her. She's the expert. All right then. Yeah, do that then." That's it on the right there. Right? That's it on the right. It's got an extra inch on it or whatever it was. Right? And I had to spend 18 months looking like a skaghead, getting laser surgery or whatever it's called to remove it and then to redo it. It's gonna take time to fix. It's gonna take time to fix. Whatever's going on in your life, oh yeah, motivational speaker, woo, my life's fixed. No, it's gonna take time. And I would be lying to you if I said it's not gonna take time. But the sooner you can make that start, the sooner the better. You know what? I've run out of time. And one day, we're all going to run out of time. The difference is, with a clock, I can put an extra 10 minutes on. Right? In real life, you can't. Time is our most important asset. And you're going to come across stuff that is going to shape you to your core. Losing a business, getting shot at, nervous breakdown, benefits, delivering pizzas, whatever. And I always want you to ask this question: what does this make possible? Whenever shit's hitting the fan, what does this make possible? And I've been using this slide deck for 10, 12 years. And there's been one consistent slide in that time, only one, this one. And every single time that I present, I have to move this that way. And no amount of money, no amount of success allows me to move it that way. You are never going to be any younger than you are right now. So you can sit there and go, "No, I wish I was 20 again." You're not. Get over it. I wish I was thinner. You can be thinner. I wish I was richer. You can be richer. I wish I was healthier. You can be healthier. But you can't be younger. So I want you to do what you can do today, which you won't be able to do in 10 years. You know, when I think about this whole thing, I've been on this planet for 18,535 days as of today. And one day, God, I'm not religious, spiritual awakening, that's another conversation. It's one of the strangest things I've ever encountered in my life, by the way, 3 years ago. Anyway, one day, I'm hopefully going to be this kid, 20 years on, still doing my thing. And I've got a tagline already: older, fatter, wiser. Older, fatter, wiser. I'm ready to go. Or maybe I won't make 20 years. Because 1973 was when I was born, a fine vintage, I think you'll agree, fellas. And then you got this dash, the dash, and too many of us are dashing, trying to get to when we get a 40-inch television. You get a 40-inch television, now you want a 60-inch. Happiness is around the 80-inch television. You get an 80-inch, now you need 100. I know what I need. I know why I'm unhappy. It's because I need a 100-inch curve. You get a 100-inch curve, and now what I need is I need a home cinema. I got a mate of mine. I went to see him. He's excavated his frigging £8 million house, blah, 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 to go and have a cinema. Well, goes down there, takes me down to his basement, going through a marriage breakup at the moment. And I said to him, goes down there, turns his light on, bink, 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 30-seat cinema. Massive cinema, 30 chairs, under his thinger. Business owner, and I'm fucking hell, Steve, do you know what you need now? He goes, "What's that, Brad?" He's got a popcorn machine, he's got a ticket machine, crushed red velvet everywhere. What do I need, mate? I said 28 fucking mates and a good divorce lawyer. Spent all that time and energy on shit that didn't matter. When the thing that mattered was this. The thing that mattered was his marriage. Been too busy chasing nonsense that doesn't matter. And we've all been guilty of it, including me. So I want you to understand right now, right, that this is your life. This is your life, and where you end up in your life is a direct result of your decision. Remember, I talked before about the 24-second rule. 24 seconds. 24 seconds, you can make a decision. I'm going to ask you to make a life-changing decision. I want you to imagine that you're walking down wherever you live, and there's a beautiful field there and an oak tree, know what kind of tree it is, but let's say it's an oak tree, right? And you're walking there, it's a beautiful warm summer's day, and you've got your bottle of water, lovely chilled water, and the sun's beating down on you, and you've got your big rucksack, your big red rucksack on your back. I don't have a big red rucksack on my back. Yes, you do. All the things that you've been picking up all your life, what they said to you, how they did you wrong, and so forth. And then you end up with this big rucksack full of rocks. Some people in situations pick up more rocks than others. Some people are good at letting it go. Not everyone. And I want you to do yourself a favor, this big, heavy rucksack full of rocks. All these negative experiences that you have picked up along your way. I want you to take that rucksack off. And I want you to make a decision. A life-changing decision. Because where you end up in your life, your final dying breaths are going to be defined by this decision. To choose to keep that rucksack on for the remainder of your life, commit to it, or do as I did, choose to let go of it, take it off, and leave it right now, today. See, think about this. Every single decision that you've ever made in your entire life brings me to you today. I am talking to you today because I got shot at in Salford in 1995. If I'd not been shot at in Salford, who knows what I'd have done? Would I have written 4 books? Unlikely. Would I have started a business off? Unlikely. Would I have met a girl in Somerset and had 3 children with her? Unlikely. Would I have started a business off and created a multi-million-pound business? Unlikely. Would I be a motivational speaker traveling the world right now? Unlikely. So everything happens for a reason, even the shitty stuff. And I'm going to get to that. But before I get to that, you have a decision to make. I want you to make a decision in the next 24 seconds. My suggestion, take it off. Commit to leaving it behind. You know, I said something before. I said that bridging that gap. How do you bridge that gap? That gap from where you were to where you want to get to. Whatever is on the other side, we're going to get you there right now. This is what you need to do. You need to let go of that rucksack. Let go. It's gone. You need to lose the pessimism. Oh, what happens if it don't work out? It will work out. You need to let go of the self-doubt. You need to get some momentum. It's your ability to make decisions. It's how you can look into things and optimism. Optimistic. Start looking at the best in every situation. It's how you spend your time, how you spend your money, where you spend your energy, and self-belief. Self-belief. You know what? This pandemic, 2020, we've all been affected. Every single one of us, including me. We've all been shaped by this. We've all been wobbling as a result of it. But what I want you to do is I want you to wobble forwards, whether it's physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially. We've all been affected. There's not a single one. And you can say, oh, it was years ago that. Shut up. Right? We're all at different levels. The world has been kind of reset and people are at different levels. And this is what you need to do. You need to come back together. Let me be quite clear. Everything happens for a reason. If it wasn't for me getting shot at, I wouldn't be speaking to you now. You wouldn't be watching this. All the decisions, I want you to put your hand out right now. I'm going to put a red hot coal in your hand. Red hot coal in your hand. Would you hold on to it and go, oh, it's burning, it's burning, it's burning, I'm going to hold on to it? No, you wouldn't. You'd let go of it straight away. But what you end up doing is you end up holding on to things that cause you pain, holding on to people that have done you wrong, holding on to what they said to you, holding on to the argument you had on social media, holding on to stop, let go of it. Your future self relies on you letting go of everything. You know, we end up spending so much time in our life with this whole thing about trying to go back to a time and a place that no longer exists. I would love to think, as a result of you watching this for the last 50 minutes, that your life's like Disney and everything's amazing. It's not going to be, but it's going to be better. I've got a religion. This is now, before I get to that, you know what? This has not been about me today, by the way. This has been about we as a collective. And what you've got there with the Football Mental Health Alliance is you've got a collective, a community of people, of like-minded people that have come together to help, to be better. Mental health, you know, I think it needs a rebranding issue personally, but mental health is a thing. You know, this is just about well-being. And I've had mental health issues, right? But I've dealt with them and I've got better at dealing with it. And my mental fortitude and resilience is better. I want you to remember why you started. Remember why you started on your job, your relationship. I want you to, when you start whinging, I want you to remember who and why you're doing it for. Kids, if it was left to me, I would never you know, I'd have just been sat there smoking bongs all weekend. But for the first time ever, it was about Ben. And I told him I'd take him to Disney World 13, 14 times. I'm off to Australia. And I'm not doing it to large you. Oh, yeah, look at me clever, right? 21 days, bit clever this month and next month. But you see what I'm saying? I'm just to show you that a kid from Counter Step, why not you? Why not you? You know, I look at this whole thing and I want you to get back to that day one enthusiasm. That day one enthusiasm. Get back to that day one enthusiasm. Imagine that you go into your job tomorrow that was your first day on this planet. How would you behave? You won't go, oh, look, it's miserable. You'd go with wonder, like almost like a childlike, and that's what I want you to do. What life is about, it's my religion, Braddism. Help many, hurt few, live life. That's it. And be the best you. Why wait? Why wait? Why wait? You know, there's a 10 out of 10 in each and every one of us each and every day, and you have to find it. And I want you to see why are you not being a 10 out of 10? Oh, well, she's doing my fucking head in. All right. Well, what are you going to do about it? Keep arguing and staying in self-perpetual. Or maybe you change your perspective. She might be having a bad day as well. You're all right to have a bad day, but she can't. You're all right to be stressed out with work, but she can't be stressed out with the kids. You see what I'm saying? So when you start changing perspective, life becomes easier. So look, the clock genuinely is ticking and I've run out of time. But what I will say about this is that you have something that one of the richest men in the world doesn't have. Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, 200 billion of Apple reserves. How much do you reckon he'd give you for one day of your life if the clock was ticking? Don't reckon he'd be negotiating. You'd go 200 bill. What does that say? It says that today is worth 200 billion pound. So you might not have flash car, you might not have this, but you've got it today. Do you see what I'm saying? Put it in perspective. Oh, but I've got all these problems. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Like, seriously, shut up. There'd be someone right now in a war-torn country elsewhere that would bite your fucking hand off for all your problems. So I want you to be thankful. I want you to start focusing, you know, about what you've got, what you do have. You have this, you have that. Yeah, that's what I want you to do. In any scene right now, and I've trained my brain on this one, only 3% of things you see, might be an ambulance going past or whatever, making noise. And unless you tuned into it, you wouldn't know it, you wouldn't hear it. Only 3%. You get to choose what that 3% is. See the beauty in any situation, or you see the horrible stuff in every situation. And I've chose to consciously try find the beauty in every situation. And guess what? Like that processor, the hard drive, all the hard drive is data it's getting, his life is good because I'm focusing on all the good, positive stuff. Simple but powerful. So I want you to be driven. I want you to be ambitious, but I want you to be happy. If your drive and ambition are causing you to be unhappy, somewhere along the way, maybe you found your level. We can't all be Elon Musk. And I just want you to see this, that, you know, I started off and I said, you can't rewind. When we rewind, it causes us to be depressed. When we fast forward, it causes us to be anxious. Oh, what happens if Putin nuclear bombs us? You don't wake at night tossing and turning about whether a nuclear bomb with warheads coming towards you. You're never going to know. So you can't rewind, can't fast forward. All you can do is press play on today. Thank you so much, Football Mental Health Alliance. Go and get them. Be the best you.